allowed to present the news here on Sun FM Radio and TV. My name is Imelda Chikwati. The headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for closer cooperation between Zambia and Zimbabwe in developing and managing strategic assets shared by the two nations. Government has announced that no officers from the defense and security wings have been retired in national interest under the current administration. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali says that Tanzania, Zambia and China have entered into a 31-year concession agreement aimed at facilitating the rehabilitation and modernization of the Tazara railway line. Zambia's debut run at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup has come to an end following a 3-1 defeat to Mali in the round of 32.
The News, 88.5 Sun FM.
President Hakainde Hichilema has called for closer cooperation between Zambia and Zimbabwe in developing and managing strategic assets shared by the two nations. Speaking at the Zimbabwe-Zambia Binational Commission on Defense and Security meeting, President Hakainde Hichilema said it is unacceptable for neighboring countries with common resources to operate in isolation. He stressed that Zambia and Zimbabwe can achieve greater outcomes through collaboration, particularly in sectors where their interests align. The president cited key shared assets, including the Kariba North Bank, the Zambezi River Authority, and mineral resources, which he said must be managed responsibly to benefit both countries. President Hichilema reaffirmed Zambia's commitment to deepening its partnership with Zimbabwe, describing the bond between the two nations as unbreakable.
And we are raising fantastic children. So, Mr. President, we are truly Siamese twins. We are truly connected at the umbilical cord. And what we should do is do what is natural, to do many other things together. We'll be more successful when we do more things together, because we've common shared resources, assets. Zambia and Zimbabwe are connected not just by roads. I didn't say road, by roads. Chirundu, Kariba, Victoria Falls. I heard what you said about the name. Yes, yes.
And Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa pledged his country's commitment to working with Zambia in pursuit of mutual development.
And now let's go back to today. Let us work hand in glove for the greater good and prosperity of our countries and our peoples. My dear brother, Your Excellency, I want to express my gratitude for your personal support and that of Zambia for Zimbabwe's candidature for a non-permanent seat in the United Security Council for the period 2027-2028. We congratulate you, my dear brother. We, as Zimbabwe, remain grateful to Zambia's principled stance and consistent calls against illegal economic sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe.
Meanwhile, in a joint communique issued at the conclusion of President Hichilema's working visit to Zimbabwe and the inaugural Binational Commission, the two countries welcomed an arrangement that will enable Zambia to import electricity from the region through Zimbabwe. Under the agreement, Zimbabwe will progressively increase the limit on power transfer capacity. Meanwhile, the two nations signed a series of memoranda of understanding covering diplomatic training, immigration and technical cooperation, labor and employment, agriculture and youth development. Furthermore, the Cabinet of Zimbabwe has approved the removal of transit duties on petroleum products effective 27th November 2025. The decision is part of broader measures aimed at eliminating barriers that hinder trade between the two countries. The communique states that Zambia and Zimbabwe will continue holding technical high-level discussions on the matter on a quarterly basis, with a finalization expected by 31st March 2026. The two nations have also agreed to implement 24-hour operations at the Chirundu and Victoria Falls one-stop border posts by 31st December 2025. Zambia further reaffirmed its commitment to advocate for the removal of illegal and unilateral sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe, stating that the sanctions continue to hamper development efforts. Government has announced that no officers from the defense and security wings have been retired in national interest under the current administration. Acting Minister of Defense Jack Mwimbu said this contrasts with the previous Patriotic Front PF government, which separated 73 military personnel under unclear circumstances between January 2016 and August 2021. Of those dismissed during the PF era, 23 were from the Zambia Army, 13 from the Zambia Air Force ZAF, and 37 from the Zambia National Service. Responding to a question from Namwala Member of Parliament Herbert Mapani, Mr. Mwimbu stated that the previous administration abused the provision for retiring officers in national interest. He confirmed that 28 of the affected officers have since been reinstated, 10 from the Zambia Army, 6 from ZAF, and 4 from ZNS, returning to their original positions. The minister added that 45 officers were not reinstated due to insufficient evidence supporting their claims, while others have pending applications.
Madam Speaker, it's a notorious fact, but that during the reign of the PF, they used to retire officers and public workers in national interest. And in most instances, there were no reasons being given apart from being relieved under that particular provision. And those are the unclear circumstances. When officers applied to be reinstated, they were interviewed, evidence was tendered. Those who were found suitable and the evidence was clear, they were reinstated.
Government has announced a $1.4 billion investment to revitalize the 1,860-kilometer Tanzania-Zambia Railway Tazara. Delivering a ministerial statement in Parliament on the Tazara concession agreement, Minister of Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali said the governments of Tanzania, Zambia and China have signed a 31-year concession to support the rehabilitation and modernization of the railway line. Mr. Tayali explained that $1.3 billion, including $7 million for initial capital requirements and rehabilitation works, will be allocated to infrastructure upgrades, while the remaining $230 million will be used for reinvestment. He added that the revitalization program will include the procurement of 34 locomotives, 761 passenger coaches, and the establishment of a state-of-the-art logistics hub in Kapirimposhi. The minister also assured Parliament that all Tazara workers will receive their terminal benefits.
And negotiations among the tripartite partnership of the three governments, a 31-year concession agreement has been signed with the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. The total investment amounts to $1.4 billion as follows: $1.17 billion for initial capital equipment and rehabilitation, and $238 million for periodic reinvestment to ensure long-term sustainability. This investment will deliver a complete rehabilitation of all the 1,860 kilometers of track.
The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, has handed over 50 housing units to the poor and vulnerable households in Namwala, Sinazongwe, Pemba and Gwembe districts in Southern Province under the Social Housing Project. The Social Housing Project Phase 1 targets to provide 50 decent and affordable housing to social cash transfer beneficiaries in each province across the nation. The construction project commenced on 14th November 2022 and was completed on 30th September 2024 at a total contract sum of 19,562,640.78 kwacha. Speaking during the handover in Namwala, Ministry of Community Development and Social Services Permanent Secretary Angela Kawandami, in a speech delivered on her behalf by Director Social Welfare Maurice Mono, reiterated government's commitment to reducing poverty and improving the welfare of its citizens. Ms. Kawandami explained that the Phase 1 of the construction of housing units for the vulnerable, which began in the southern and eastern provinces, is now expanding into the northwestern, central and western provinces. She commended the power of a collaboration between ministries and echoed that the ministry will continue to work with other stakeholders in enhancing the implementation of social protection programs. And Ministry of Infrastructure and Urban Development Permanent Secretary Professor Albert Malama added that the housing units in Southern Province is part of the national program being implemented in several provinces across the nation in a bid to ensure that no community is left behind in accessing decent shelter and improved living conditions. He indicated that government has prioritized housing development under the 8th National Development Plan within the Strategic Development Area on Human and Social Development to cushion the housing deficit, estimated at 1.5 million units, affecting both rural and urban areas. This is in a statement issued by Ministry of Community Development and Social Services Principal Public Relations Officer Glenda Nachinga. Kalulushi District Commissioner Joseph Piri has emphasized the need for increased sensitization on the Constituency Development Fund, a CDF bursary scheme, expressing concern that many people remain unaware of its benefits. Speaking at the 29th graduation ceremony of Twikatane Ndola Vocational Training Center, Mr. Piri reaffirmed government's commitment to raising awareness about initiatives aimed at improving living standards. He highlighted skills development as a key government priority, promoting entrepreneurship and self-reliance among citizens.
And this is what Twikatane is doing. So you go out there, go and make your own money. Become entrepreneurs, employers, in short. Panto, amaskills ya mchitire, be it tailoring, mwapoka CDF, mwashtama machines, you employ one or two other colleagues. Nishi, ile rangai, wakapenta, nabenda chimochine, you get Constituency Development Fund, you make a cooperative, get that fund and buy timber and other prerequisites so that you make sure that you become self-reliant and employ others. The Newton government, through the able leadership of His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, has allocated funds for skills training through Constituency Development Fund for all the constituencies in Zambia, of which Twikatane on the importance of skills acquisition. Even yourselves, you can also help us sensitize those other people, that other girls and boys that are out there, the importance of having skill. In your respective areas, the people that we call WDCs, who to take you through and will tell you exactly how you can access these skills.
Meanwhile, Minister Provincial for the Conventual Franciscans in Zambia and Malawi, Father Matthews Kasongo, advised graduates not to rely solely on government employment. He encouraged them to pursue self-employment, group ventures or cooperative models.
To start small, you know, Zambia, if we are training, you read about government finish. I think we should move from that perspective. Believe in yourself that we can start small and even coming together as a group to form cooperatives. The government is in. But they support you with the tools, with the instruments to enhance your skills that way.
The graduation ceremony held at the Franciscan Center in Ndola saw students graduate in various fields, including general hospitality, food production, carpentry, bricklaying, and tailoring. Construction of the National Polio Laboratory at the University Teaching Hospital, UTH Adult Hospital, has been completed with the official handover and opening expected soon. According to UTH Adult Hospital Public Relations Officer Mwiza Muya, the $779,700 project, funded by the World Health Organization WHO with support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, will significantly boost Zambia's capacity for disease surveillance and outbreak response. WHO Zambia Country Representative Dr. Clement Peter Lasuba toured the newly refurbished facility and commended the collaboration between WHO, the Ministry of Health, and other partners. He described the development as a milestone in strengthening Zambia's health security and laboratory capacity. Dr. Hamakwa Mantina, head of pathology and microbiology at UTH, expressed gratitude to WHO and its partners, noting that the upgraded facility will offer a safer and more efficient work environment for laboratory personnel. Dr. Paul Simuska, head of the virology laboratory, added that the new lab will serve as a model of excellence and enhance integration with national disease surveillance systems. Livingstone Mayor Constance Mleabai has called for enhanced support systems to grow Zambia's creative industry, describing the arts as a vital pillar of cultural identity and economic development. Speaking at an event hosted by the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts through the Department of Arts Development in collaboration with Absa Bank Zambia's Livingstone branch and the Mosotunia Innovation Hub, Ms. Mleabai said Zambia needs structures that empower creatives to innovate, refine their skills, and compete in a fast-changing economy. She emphasized that emerging artists in particular require accessible platforms, mentorship, and policy support to turn their talents into sustainable income. The mayor noted that many artists continue to face challenges in commercializing their work, citing limited opportunities, weak industry frameworks, and inadequate protection of creative output.
The National Arts Policy and National Film Policy are further steps towards ensuring that our creative industry operates within a clear and supportive framework. These policies will guide the development of film production, music, crafts, and performing arts, while addressing issues such as intellectual property rights, funding, and capacity building. Furthermore, as we build the creative ecosystem inclusiveness must remain at the heart of our efforts. The arts belong to everyone, women, men, youth, and persons with disability alike. We must ensure that every talented Zambian, regardless of background, has the opportunity to learn, participate, and thrive in this space. To all the artists gathered here today, I urge you to take full advantage of this training, build your skills, network, and use this platform to collaborate and innovate. The future of Zambia's creative industry depends on your creativity, discipline, and unity.
Meanwhile, ABSA Livingston branch manager Michael Msonda reaffirmed the bank's commitment to supporting the creative sector through skills development and financial empowerment.
As your trusted financial partner and catalyst for sustainable growth, ABSA Bank remains committed to enabling entrepreneur, digital inclusion, and financial literacy across all sectors, including the creative industry, through solutions such as personal and business accounts, the business management tool, and the innovation app. We help SMEs, creative, formalized businesses access markets and adopt digital financial tools that enhance growth and efficiency. With such collaboration, we wish to expand our areas of impact within the community. And you may wish to know that this resonates with our purpose of empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time.
Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Engineer Collins Nzovu, has called on water utilities to intensify efforts to expand water supply and sanitation services in peri-urban communities where access to clean and safe water remains limited. The minister's appeal follows the successful completion of 4 water supply projects in Mufulira's peri-urban areas by the Mulonga Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited under the Zambia Water and Sanitation Project. The $770,439 initiative is expected to benefit over 20,000 residents across Mokambo, Morundu, Minambe, and Zimba compounds. Engineer Nzovu emphasized that the project aligns with the President's vision to ensure equitable access to water and sanitation services for all Zambians regardless of social or economic status. In line with this directive, water utilities have been instructed to accelerate the completion of ongoing projects in underserved areas to reduce waterborne diseases and strengthen public health resilience. In Mufulira, MWSC has completed the construction of 4 boreholes, elevated storage tanks, water distribution networks, and 8 public standpipes. Final testing is underway and community water vendors are being trained to manage their standpipes sustainably. This is according to a statement issued by Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation Principal Public Relations Officer Prince Chione. This is the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. For now, we'll take a break.
Sound the drums louder.
Feel the rhythm of the nation.
From every corner of Zambia.
The biggest celebration of Zambian music is here.
This November, prestige is legacy.
Excellence is greatness.
Honor is respect.
The annual Kwacha Music Awards are back for the 7th edition on Saturday, November 29th, 2025.
At Mulungushi International Conference Center.
At 19 hours. Don't miss the red carpet experience at 18 hours.
Limited tickets available at CompuTicket in all ShopRite outlets nationwide. Charges are 150 Quattro Terraces, 300 Quattro Standard, 1,000 Quattro VIP, 2,000 Quattro VVIP. Premium charges at the door.
Vote for your favorite nominees on www.quachaawards.com or www.quachaawards.org. Nominations courtesy of partner radio stations across the country.
Don't miss the greatest night of Zambian music.
And performances by the biggest artists in Zambia.
Sun FM Quattro Music Awards. Prestige.
Excellence.
Honor.
Zambia's debut run at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup has come to an end following a 3-1 defeat to Mali in the round of 32. Mali, runners-up in 2015 and bronze medalists in 2023, dominated proceedings from the start, registering 6 shots on target in the first half. A potential opening goal was disallowed by match officials, while Zambia managed just 1 shot on target before the break, with the first half ending goalless. The West Africans capitalized on their momentum in the second half, scoring 3 goals to seal Zambia's exit from the global tournament hosted in Qatar. Zambia had advanced to the knockout stage after an impressive unbeaten run in Group H, recording a 3-1 win over Indonesia, a 5-2 victory against Honduras, and a 1-1 draw with Brazil. They finished second in the group, tied on 7 points with Brazil, who topped the pool on goal difference. Mali progressed from Group L with 2 wins and 1 loss, finishing second behind Austria with 6 points. They will face either the United States of America or Morocco in the round of 16. That's a wrap. As we go, the headlines once again. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for closer cooperation between Zambia and Zimbabwe in developing and managing strategic assets shared by the 2 nations. Government has announced that no officers from the defense and security wings have been retired in national interest under the current administration. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali says that Tanzania, Zambia and China have entered into a 31-year concession agreement aimed at facilitating the rehabilitation and modernization of the Tazara railway line. Zambia's debut run at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup has come to an end following a 3-1 defeat to Mali in the round of 32. Thank you so much for listening and watching. My name is Imelda Shkwati. Stay with us.
Sun FM.
The long-awaited MTN Super League is here and is live on Top Star. This is more than football. It's